Hello. As I stated in my previous two videos that I would likely do more videos tonight, and I stated in my last video that I would make another ASMR video, and this is that video. I stated that it was going to be about this particular trip that I took when I was a child in 4th grade. It was in 2004, and my parents and I took a trip to the Alabama Space Center. I was always sick as a child quite a bit, so I enjoyed the trip no matter what, but I was sick during the trip, so that was kind of a bummer. But I did still enjoy it and get to take in all of the information and knowledge and various sites and the rockets and the space shuttles, the satellites that they showed, the different planes that they had, the information in the museum regarding planets and nebulas, nebulae, galaxies, asteroids, stars, and basically everything regarding the universe. I've always been fascinated with the universe and the theory of with quantum physics, quantum mechanics, and the multiverse, everything. It's always fascinated me since I was a young child. The universe and the solar system everything is just, it's always fascinated me. I was always fascinated with the galaxies, the planets, the universe, the solar system, the multiverse, the theoretical physics and things like that. It's always been fascinating to me. I've always had this spiritual, physical, and just all-around connection with the universe. This great connection with it. So this is Space Exploration, collection of 12 high-quality prints. And these are various postcards of the planets and their information. This is obviously the cover, and this is Earth. This is our planet Earth. So yeah, the universe has always fascinated me. Obviously there's Earth, Mars, sorry, can't tell our own planet. There's Mars, Earth, the Moon, Uranus, Saturn. Well, actually, it's either Uranus or Uranus, but people rather pronounce it Uranus. But, people would rather pronounce it Uranus because of all of, anyway, the jokes that go along with that. Saturn, there's the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Neptune, and Pluto and Charon. Those were the best pictures. That was the best high-quality image we had of Pluto and its moon Charon back then. There's Jupiter, and I think that's a nebula. No, it's an explosion or something. I used to know, but I will open this up. This was $4.95 back then. So, just some show and tell, basically. These are some various postcards. My daddy's a truck driver, so he's been to various places, almost every state. And these are some postcards that were put in there. So, yeah. And then this jackalope postcard. And these are the space postcards, the planets, and various other things here. So let's start with Earth. This is obviously planet Earth. You can still see some of my childhood fingerprints on there from when I was little. So let's read some of this. A view of the Earth as seen by the Apollo 17 crew traveling toward the moon. This is the first time the Apollo trajectory made it possible to photograph the South Polar ice cap. Note the heavy cloud cover in the southern hemisphere. Almost the entire coastline of Africa is clearly visible. There's the Arctic, and showing right there, and the Earth. So I'm going to turn this postcard over. Well, I'm not going to turn it over. I'm going to keep it like this. And this is obviously the moon, or Luna, which is actually the actual name for our moon. It's Luna. So this is the view of a full moon photographed from the Apollo 11 spacecraft during its trans-Earth journey homeward. This picture was taken when the spacecraft was already 10,000 nautical miles from the moon, according to this postcard. So, on to the next one here. This is the sun. This was the image of the sun that we had then. Quite a high quality image in 2004, sorry. So the EIT full sun image taken in the HE2 emission line at 304. 304A shows the upper chromosphere in the lower transition region of a temperature of about 60,000 degrees Kelvin. The bright features are called active regions. A huge erupting prominence escaping the sun can be seen in the upper right part of this image. Those are known, by the way, as coronal mass ejections, or CMEs, and they are when the sun releases highly charged particles toward the Earth, and these particles react with the magnetosphere, and particularly the aurora borealis in our world, and when they react, and these things sporadically go off like this. This was actually known as, a nickname for it was the sun's tongue, because this happens so often and it laps out, just kind of leaps out like a tongue toward into outer space. And since it comes toward the Earth, when they do, those highly charged particles react with the aurora borealis, and those actually cause the northern and southern lights. So that's actually what causes the northern and southern lights and those beautiful, beautiful color displays. So they said prominences in this image are cool, 60,000 degree Kelvin. That's actually cool for the sun, and plasma embedded in the much hotter surrounding corona. So obviously very, very, very powerful. And my phone's got 5% left. I hope I get to finish this. This is Saturn and all of its many 1,000 or more rings. Saturn, its distance from the sun is 1.4 billion kilometers. I'll have to translate that to miles sometime soon. I don't have my tablet on me. Its diameter, 120,540. Sixth planet from the sun. This image shows Saturn and its rings and 4 of its icy satellites. And another word for moons is satellite. Anything that orbits a planet is called a satellite. 3 satellites, or 3 moons, Tethys, Dione, and Rhea, are visible against the darkness of space, and another smaller satellite, Mimas, is visible against Saturn's cloud tops just below the rings. You can kind of see the dots right through there. That's the moons, or what they call the satellites. The next one here is Mercury. and all of its craters. So, Mercury, this is the information of the distance and how far away it is. It's obviously the closest planet to the Sun. Mercury moves around the Sun faster than any other planet in our solar system. Because of its size and nearness to the Sun, the planet is often hard to see from the Earth without a telescope. NASA's Mariner 10 first imaged this planet in 1974 is when they first actually got documented images of it. This here is really beautiful as well. This is the Hourglass Nebula. I thought it was a nebula. This is an image of MYCN 18. It's a young planetary nebula located about 8,000 light years away, meaning it actually takes light 8,000 years to travel there at the speed of light. So, taken with the Wide Field and Planetary Camera 2 aboard NASA's Hubble Space Telescope, this image reveals the true shape of this particular celestial object to be an hourglass with an intricate pattern of etchings in its walls. So, very cool. Very, very cool. This one, obviously, is Neptune with its storm right there. It's believed to be a very large oceanic planet. So, this planet is Neptune. It's the 8th planet from the Sun. The Voyager 2 narrow-angle camera was used to photograph Neptune in this image almost continuously, recording approximately 2.5 rotations of this planet. So on to the next one. We have Mars and its polar ice caps. Mars actually contains water according to the latest knowledge, which we already knew that. Anyone probably already knew that. Seeing as how it has ice caps on it, you'd know there's liquid water there. So, also a major dust storm has covered the planet of Mars recently. So, that's happening right now. It's the 4th planet from the Sun. This image of Mars was taken by the Viking Orbiter 1, shows the North Polar residual ice cap of the Phantom Boreum region. On to the next one here. This is Pluto and its moon Charon. So this is actually one of the earliest images that we had of Pluto and its moon. So, Pluto, the 9th planet from the Sun, actually they changed the documentation, but I still call it a planet. I'm still calling it a planet. I was taught that. I went by that. My parents went by that. And I'm going by that, even though they call it a dwarf planet. It's the smallest planet, Pluto and its moon Charon. The Hubble Space Telescope shows that Charon is blurrier, and it's also bluer than Pluto. Bluer. This means that they have a huge surface difference, different surface composition and structure. A bright highlight on Pluto suggests it has a smoothly reflecting surface layer. So we've also recently made it to Pluto with one of our space objects. Our Voyager, well, not Voyager, but our probes have made it to Pluto. This is, and we've got some really good images from there. This is Mercury. I'm sorry, Venus, not Mercury. This is Venus, obviously, because it's very volcanic and hot. Looks like a lot of lava. It's the 2nd planet from the Sun. The northern hemisphere is displayed in this global view of the surface of Venus. The North Pole at its center of the image. This is obviously Uranus, and you can see 2 moons there, it looks like. And Uranus apparently has rings there that they're showing. So the Hubble Space Telescope has peered deeply into the layers of Uranus's atmosphere to see clear, hazy layers. The red around the edge represents a very thin haze at a high altitude. The yellow near the bottom of Uranus is another hazy layer. The deepest layer, the blue near the top, shows a much clearer atmosphere at the top. This one here is Jupiter, and it looks like a moon moving across there, and Jupiter's great red spot is not visible on here. It's probably further that way. It's the strongest storm, and it's actually growing. Strongest storm. Very, very strong storm on Jupiter. It's like a giant hurricane. This image of Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system, was taken by the Wide Field and Planetary Camera 2 in a wide field mode aboard NASA's Hubble Space Telescope. The dark spot on the disk of Jupiter is the shadow of the inner moon of Jupiter, known as Lo. So Lo is one of Jupiter's many, many moons. That's the shadow right there. And this is the rover, well, one of the moon crafts, one of the moon vehicles. An Apollo astronaut makes a short check out of the lunar roving vehicle during the early part of the first Apollo visit. The view is the rover prior to load up, they said. Very clear image from back then, though. But anyway, this is a rocket launch. Really cool. The waters near Launch Pad 39B reflect the brilliant and red and orange flames from the solid rocket boosters and space shuttle Atlantis, as Atlantis lifts off on its mission to the International Space Station. So obviously a historic and iconic image there. This one is the American flag with an astronaut here and the moon, the footprints on the moon and things like that. There's the equipment to the left. Astronaut Buzz Aldrin, lunar module pilot, poses for a photograph behind the deployed United States flag during Apollo 11 EVA. The lunar module Eagle is on the left, shown there, with the American flag in the middle and Buzz Aldrin on the right. And this here is another beautiful, beautiful image as well. This is Eta Carinae. A huge, billowing pair of gas and dust clouds are captured in this NASA Hubble Space Telescope image of the supermassive star Eta Carinae. Even though Eta Carinae is more than 8,000 light years away, meaning it would take light 8,000 years going at the speed of light to reach it, or for it to reach Earth. Structures only 10 billion miles across, about the diameter of our entire solar system, it can be distinguished. And this is the colored image. So, this is the image. I've had these for many, many years since I went to the space exhibit in Alabama, and I just wanted to share them with you all in this show and tell video. So, as always, I want to go ahead and state my concluding statements. Peace, love, and many blessings. And as always, sweet dreams. Sweet dreams, everyone. Good night.